What is up, Flockers? That is my fellow Lockers and aspiring Lockers. In today's video, I'm going to be catching you up on my 2-year Lockiversary. So if you're interested in that, then stick around. It's my 2-year Lockiversary. It's my 2-year Lockiversary. It's my 2-year Lockiversary. Hey. How are we already at 2 years, y'all? It is crazy how quickly time flies, and I know if you're in the beginning of your journey, you're probably sick and tired of hearing people talk about how quickly the time flies, but I promise you the further you get into your journey, the quicker the time goes for real, because you're not focused on the day-to-day minor changes and things like that. In the first several months of my journey, my locks were changing on the regular, and so, I could wake up and I could expect to see something different, to feel something different, to experience something different, especially from week to week, month to month. But after I passed that 1 year mark, I really stopped noticing major changes or even subtle changes on a regular basis. And so you get to a point where you stop worrying about your hair and you stop thinking about it on a constant basis, and you just get to start enjoying it without all that extra added stress. So that is definitely something that I can say has been a huge blessing. And just the Microlocs are already pretty stress-free and worry-free and don't have to think about them too much too often. But the further you get into your journey, you really stop worrying about your hair and stressing about the little things like, oh, is my hair bunching? Is it locking properly? And all that stuff. You just get to relax and let it do what it do. I feel like the first thing that I can mention in my 2nd year of this lock journey that I'm so excited to continue on is just the length, y'all. The length is lengthen, all right? Let me look in the viewfinder while I'm saying this, because even from last year, if you look at the difference, I don't remember. I'll have a side-by-side so you can see. I think I had a middle part, but not that it matters, but you can see that the length is lengthened, y'all. We're out here with length that we did not have last year. Okay. All right, and I'll do some more close-ups and stuff like that in a little bit. But the first thing that you can notice is just the length that we have that we didn't have a year ago. And a year is a long time, but it's also not a long time in the long spectrum of things. And so just the patience for your hair to grow, knowing that it will grow, trying to, do right by your body by eating decent food and trying not to eat a bunch of processed and fast food too often, drinking a lot of water, and just trying to exercise and move your body to keep it healthy helps for, you put the things into your body and do things right by your body on the inside, so that way it can flourish and show through your hair, through your skin, through your nails, your eyes, your teeth, all of that. It all comes from within. I really try to do my best in terms of fitness and just exercising, keeping my body healthy, as well as putting things, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit up here and tell y'all that I'm on this perfect diet, that I'm just eating wonderful stuff all the time. That's not true. But I do think that we eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, and we try not to eat a ton of processed food. We cook 2 to 3 meals a day in our household, most days 3 meals a day. So just trying to eat healthy, and like I said, drinking a ton of water all day, every day. It's pretty much the only thing that I drink is water. And so just trying to give my body the best chance it has at flourishing in all the facets, like I said, hair, skin, and nails, all that. It all comes from within. So that's something that I've been intentional with over this journey, not just for my hair, but like I said, health in general. When I first did my color, it was a little dry. I mean, anytime you process your hair and stuff, it's going to be a drying effect. It's going to cause your hair to be more brittle and change the pattern and stuff from what it was. But within the last year since I've done that, it has definitely matured, and it has come to a place that it wasn't then. My ends are closing. The wavy pattern that it loosened up to is getting back coarser and locking the way that it's supposed to. I don't feel like I'm having to put a ton of extra attention into the ends of my hair where it's processed, whereas before I was, because it just felt drier, and like I said, it felt a little bit brittle in the beginning. Honestly, the ends of my locks feel like the roots of my locks. They feel the same. They feel healthy. They don't feel dry or anything like that. So I feel like I've been doing something right over the past year in maintaining my color and just keeping it healthy from the rooter to the tutor. Something that I am still experiencing even 2 years into this journey is I still have hair that grows outside of the lock. I don't think that that's going to change even 5 or 10 years down the journey. So that is something that I do have to still go in sometimes with the crochet needle and just fix those areas in between reties or right before a retie, just to make sure that the hair stays incorporated with the lock that it's supposed to and doesn't go off to other locks, because I do, like I said, have hairs that will come out and just be growing outside of the lock and they want to do their own thing. And it mostly happens in the back of my head where my hair is softer, but it does happen in other places too, not just in the back of my head. At 2 years in, do we still have braid pattern? Yes, we absolutely do. Does it bother me? No, it does not. It has not bothered me from day one, and it still does not bother me. My locks are constantly maturing and I'm losing braid pattern all over. If I was someone who was fixated on the braid pattern, then maybe it would bother me, but it doesn't. And so the ones around the front that I've said in pretty much every video, around the crown, or not the crown, around the perimeter of my face where I braided them tighter, and then some throughout my whole head, still have some of the braid pattern at the end, and then other places it's just completely gone and disappearing. So that's just how they have been maturing. Okay, so that's what they're looking like. Some do still have that curly ends. Okay, so not all of my ends are locked yet, but you do see that some have maintained a braid pattern that is visible, whereas others have not so much. And it's all different throughout my head, so no matter where you pull from, the results will vary. Some will be completely locked, or at least completely locked looking. I don't know why it's so blown out. Sorry y'all for the... I do still get the little balls on the end from time to time, but it's not as much as it used to be. But like here, we do have a little ball on the end. Sometimes I do catch myself getting snagged and pulling them off accidentally, sometimes intentionally. But for the most part, I leave them be and let them do their own thing. Let me go ahead and give y'all a close-up and all of that jazz so that you can see and examine my hair and see where it's at. It's a wonderful thing when you get the drop, because once the drop happens, it doesn't matter how you run your hands through your hair or whatnot, it just drops. There was a time not that long ago where if I were to do like this with my hair, my locks would have stayed stuck out like this. They would have been going in different directions. But once you get that drop, I'm telling you, like, life is just different, because it's hard to have a bad hair day. I don't think it's possible to have a bad hair day, because like I said, no matter what happens to your hair, like, it just drops and it goes back. So even if I do all of this and go all crazy with it, whew, now I'm dizzy. But look at that. Look at the drop. We can shake it out and it just drops into place where it's supposed to be. Now, I mean, we looking a little disheveled, but my point is that even in looking disheveled, the locks are still dropping where they're supposed to be and making look good. So it's impossible to have a bad hair day. I love that about my locks. Locks will teach you patience. They will teach you appreciation. If you stick in there, that's the biggest thing, because it's easy to, in the beginning, get frustrated, get caught up, because your hair in the beginning can be doing all sorts of crazy stuff, especially if your hair is shorter when you start your locks. Your locks will point in every other which way. You'll wake up looking like alpha with little springy locks all over the place. They won't go the direction you want them to go. They will frizz up, they will puff up, they'll do literally everything that you would hope and pray that they don't do. They will do that. But I promise you, if you hang in there and stick in there, you will get over that hurdle, you will get over that hump, you will get over that phase, and you will get to a place where, like I said, you wake up and you don't even have to think about your hair because it's an afterthought. You can wake up and you can shake and go. You can wake up and not even have to look in the mirror and just know that just simply you take your bonnet off, you run your fingers through your hair just like that when you wake up in the morning. Maybe you want to make sure your part's somewhat straight, just like that, and then you go. You don't have to do the most. If you want to get up and spray your hair in the morning, you can. But like, how many hairstyles are there out there where you can literally wake up, shake, and go? Not many that I know of. Not many where it's not requiring you to use a brush, use a comb, use some type of detangler, put all sorts of product in your hair to get it to act the way you want. So Microlocs, Locs, it's just a whole different ball game. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button so I know what type of videos you're enjoying, and also hit the subscribe button so that you can join the flock. And before you go anywhere, check out some of the other videos that have popped up on the screen. See you there.